I am in Lucerne, Switzerland, one of the most incredible cities in Switzerland. Today I am going to explore some landmarks throughout Lucerne, such as the Chapel Bridge, but we'll come back for a closer look at that later. Lucerne is located right in central Switzerland, on beautiful Lake Lucerne, so this region is German speaking. The river Reuss begins in Lucerne. It is the fourth longest river in Switzerland. First, I wanted to take a look inside the Jesuit church, which is located right by the Chapel Bridge. This church was opened in 1677 and was the first large Baroque church built in Switzerland north of the Alps. The interior of this church is very intricate. This is one of the best Baroque churches I have ever seen. The Jesuitenkirche was designed based on the Gesu in Rome, which is the main church of the Society of Jesus. The Jesuits were invited here to Lucerne by the city council in 1573, after they had witnessed popular Protestant sects develop in Geneva with John Calvin and Zwingli in Zurich, so Catholicism was maintained here in Lucerne by the Jesuits. This side altar has relics of Saint Sylvanus, which were supposedly taken from Roman catacombs. This is a memorial to Saint Nicholas of Flue, who prevented a war between the Swiss cantons. I was informed by a nice lady in here that this altar contains a relic of Saint Ignatius Loyola, who founded the Society of Jesus. The Jesuitenkirche is beautiful. Definitely stop in here if you visit Lucerne. There's a unicorn fountain. That's pretty cool. This is the Kornmarkt, which has been in use since the mid-14th century. Here's the Rosengart collection, which has an amazing private collection of Picassos, clays, and more, but sadly they don't allow photography, so I didn't visit. Otherwise I definitely would have patronized this museum. I really hope they change that rule. I did visit Lucerne's most famous landmark, the Lion Monument. I featured the story behind this mournful lion in stone in a separate video that is linked in the description. Not far from the Lion Monument is the Hofkirche, which was built in 1639, so a few decades before the Jesuitenkirche. I also went inside this wonderful historic church, but it is included in my Lion Monument video. Again, check the description for that one. Lucerne stands upon the shores of Lake Lucerne, the fourth largest lake in Switzerland. This lake is simply fantastic. The mountain scenery surrounding it is so awesome. I like that old boathouse. The waters of Lake Lucerne are incredibly clear. There are several historic hotels and casinos alongside Lake Lucerne. Here's the Wilhelm Tell steamboat. The story of the legendary Swiss folk hero William Tell was based in a forest on the south side of Lake Lucerne. Alright, now let's traverse the famed Chapel Bridge, or Kapelbrook, across the River Reuss. It is a long covered footbridge complete with a water tower in the middle of the river. The Chapel Bridge was originally built around 1360, though some say it was built even earlier in the 1330s. The bridge used to be significantly longer, but the river shrank over time. It is still 672 feet long, that's 205 meters. This is technically the oldest surviving truss bridge in the world. This bridge is very unique because it has over 100 of these triangular frame paintings up in the rafters along the entire length of the bridge. These scenes depict the history of Lucerne. They were created and added onto the bridge in the 17th century. These were painted by a Catholic, so these scenes are very favorable to Catholic traditions and stories. So this is essentially propaganda of the Counter-Reformation. Most of these scenes tell of the life and death of Saint Leger, the patron saint of Lucerne. There are also many scenes showing Saint Maurice. There are not nearly as many paintings as there once were, and most of this bridge actually isn't very old. Tragedy struck on August 18, 1992, as the Chapel Bridge caught on fire and was almost entirely destroyed, all because of a cigarette. The surviving paintings on the bridge are original. They did not recreate the ones that were lost, but all of these were saved from the fire, though most of them did fall in the river. Of the 147 paintings, only 47 were not destroyed by the fire, and 30 of those were restored. That is why most of the painting spaces are just blank now, which is really sad. But thankfully this bridge was rebuilt, and it still seems authentic. The surviving paintings are fantastic. This is definitely one of the most entertaining bridges I've ever crossed. This bridge would have been used as part of the defenses of Lucerne, connecting the old town on the right bank with the new town on the left bank. There's the water tower, which was not used as a water tower, it was actually a prison. The old world architecture of Lucerne is amazing. This is the Nadelwehr on the Reuss. It's a needle dam. This very old-fashioned dam from the 19th century regulates the water flow entering from the lake with these wooden spikes. It is one of the earliest surviving needle dams like this in existence, and it's quite mesmerizing. Atop the hill overlooking Lucerne is the Chateau Gutsch, a historic castle turned hotel that was built in 1901, inspired by Neuschwanstein Castle in Bavaria. The Koppelbrook is not the only old covered footbridge in Lucerne, as just a little ways down the river is the Spreuer Bridge. While this one is smaller and less known than the Chapel Bridge, the Spreuer Bridge is more authentic and even more bizarre. This bridge was originally built in 1408 to connect some mills, but after a flood the current rendition was built in 1566. This one also has a series of great triangular paintings, which are all intact. They are based on a Danse Macabre, or Dance of Death cycle, intended to remind those passing over the bridge that death will come for them, which is a nice sentiment. There is a fancy little altar in the middle of the bridge. So all 67 of these original panels feature some sort of skeleton, bringing death to the people of Lucerne and taking them to the afterlife. These paintings are so awesome. The Spreuer Bridge often gets overlooked, but honestly I think it's better than the Chapel Bridge. Those skeleton death paintings along the entire thing are the best. Do not skip out on this. The Dance of Death Bridge ends up at the Moilenplatz, which has some nice architecture. There's the Chapel Bridge with mighty Mount Pilatus towering in the background. I got a good dinner alongside the River Reuss. Lucerne is a majestic place. I really enjoyed exploring this amazing city. Before signing off, I thought I would show off the cool hotel I got to stay at here in Lucerne. This is the Grand Hotel Europe, which was opened in 1875, just a little ways from the shore of Lake Lucerne. It is a Grand Belle Epoque hotel, complete with some stained glass windows and other fanciful furnishings inside. The old dining room and ballroom is wonderful. And this was my room. It was pretty nice. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. Also take a look at my other videos featuring other cities, historic locations, museums, natural wonders, and more here in Switzerland, across Europe, and America. Also make sure to check out my other videos filmed here in the Lucerne area. Some are linked in the description. Thanks for watching.